Anyway, the upshot is our contestants are continually interrupted. They have to wait while we get permission to film inside the shops, wait while we set up the cameras, wait while we get anyone caught on camera to sign a release form, wait for mics to be fitted, batteries to be changed, and they have to move around at our behest when the nearby roadworks drown out the audio.
We're having a nightmare with the sounds. We've now got a lot of noise in the background and it sounds like a war zone.
In short, they're constantly aware of the sheer scrutiny they're under, which naturally increases the pressure. And as we'd hoped, Shaz and Joe seem to be rubbing each other up the wrong way.
I need you to hand them to me one at a time.
We haven't got time.
Yes, we have.
Okay.
So we can highlight that by shooting interviews with them, plucking out some sound bites and combining them into a nice little bitching sequence.
I would make a decision. We go to the gift shop.
Yeah, that's what I think you.
She overpowered the whole teamwork with her approach. She could have dealt with it a bit differently.
Her weaknesses are that she doesn't listen and she needs to stop talking quite so much.
Then something unexpected happens. Barry interprets the something blue instruction, which was 5 edible blue items, as meaning he can buy 5 identical bottles of blue Alcopop. Now, this is actually our fault for not specifying there should be 5 different items, but in TV, as in Vegas, the house always wins. So we'll say that it's their fault. Now I've got a stick to beat them with later. Prior to shooting the scene where I assess the contestants' efforts, I need to be fed information on what actually happened during the task. Again, we're less interested in how they actually did than what buttons I can push to get an emotional reaction on camera and give the viewers the catfight they sorely deserve. We're also looking to create a narrative, so we decide my tactics in advance.
Start on Shaz, start talking about all her weaknesses, encouraging the other two to join in.
Start on Shaz. As the contestants walk dramatically up and down corridors to provide us with useful wallpaper shots, I brush up on my TV judging skills. To be a good judge in the real world, you need the wisdom of Solomon, the patience of a saint, and the diplomacy of Morgan Freeman. But to cut it as a TV judge, you've just got to be a blustering, belligerent bastard like this.
Stand up straight. What is your game here today? What is your fucking game? Something's happened to you, you've just switched off completely. You're turning into a right little bitch.
Yes, TV judges are more celebrity bollockers than anything else, so what tips can I pick up from them? We'll start by taking notes from a prick, Mel Smith lookalike Darren Lyons from ITV2's nail-biting Deadline. Now Sonic the Hedgehog's let himself go.
Okay. You don't pull anything out of the bag for me, and you go and get your fucking hair done and do your fucking shopping, don't you? That's all you're interested in, shopping and fucking hair.
Okay, be foul-mouthed. Now let's see what we can learn from poor man's rich man Peter Jones in The Lackluster Tycoon.
Really happy with the way it's turned out, and I hope you are too.
This is it, honestly. You have created a newsletter that my 11-year-old daughter could do.
Pour scorn on all achievements. Now some pointers from human doll Mio puppet David Guest in The Shit Greases the Word.
Hold it. This is really crap. I mean, I gotta tell you, it's not good. I've worked with tons of dancers. I was married to a dancer. This is not the way you dance. This is not the way to do it. None of you yet could play this role. I'm gonna come back in about 10 minutes. Get it together, because this is really not good.
Act personally offended by any mistakes. Back to the sweaty, intense Deadline now to learn how to talk right from Gobby Harrod and Janet Street preachers, mean Porter.
But I asked on Thursday at 4 o'clock.
No, I'm going now, like a whirlwind.
Well, we don't all need to be involved in it!
Don't talk if you can shout. Now let's see what we can learn from the body language of the bastards in the hellish begfest that is Dragon's Den. Oh, cheer up. I said cheer up. Oh, you can't cheer up. Maintain a sour expression at all times. Time for a masterclass in TV bossery from the superb apprentice courtesy of the grand showman Sir Alan Sugar.
He is going to make mincemeat out of you, Sunshine, if you do not start speaking up for yourself. So, Trey.
Yep.
Make mincemeat out of him then.
Whip up arguments.
Been a bankrupt twice. Well, Rory, here's the hat trick. You're fired.
Focus on the negative. Finally, Gordon Ramsay in the brutal Hell's Kitchen USA with one last valuable lesson.
Melissa, give me your jacket.
Oh, thank God.
You, madam, are going in the men's team. Take your jacket off.
Dummy manoeuvres. Make them think you're attacking someone else, lull them into false sense of security.
Bonnie, back in line.
Okay, well that's basically how I've got to behave. I reckon I can handle that. Back to the unloser now for judgment on the wedding gift task. So, who's the team captain?
That was me, King Charlie.
Good team captain?
I think she led from the front. Done very well.
Didn't I tell you I don't like bum lickers? Barry thinks you led from the front, whatever the hell that means. How do you think you did?
I did the best of my ability, King Charlie.
Okay, well let's see just how well you did do, Annabelle.
The team were given a budget of £100. They spent £79.30 and finished with an hour to spare.
So maybe we should look at what you got. First of all, let's see something old.
When we found a wall plaque dated 1780, and we managed to haggle to get it down to £20.
Bit dirty, isn't it?
That's as it is. It's an antique.
Well, you couldn't have just given it a rub with a bit of cloth or something. I mean, look at it. It's a bit grimy.
Cracker.
It's got a crack. It's got a crack in it. So you want me to hand over a split plate? Whose idea was that? Was that your idea?
No. Barry was brilliant at negotiating it down to £20.
What did you do, Chef?
I'd put as much effort as I was allowed to put in. I could have put more.
As you were allowed
yes.
to put in. What about something new?
These are the flowers that we bought. We made them ourselves. Well, put them together ourselves. And we thought the colour was relevant for a wedding.
Relevant colour. Who put these together?
Joe put most of the flowers together.
Oh, this is your handiwork?
I was actually quite proud of it when we started.
Well, what I heard was that you went to a flower stall and you basically railroaded the guy who was running it. Oh, it's hilarious, is it?
Talk us through the something blue.
Task specified 5 items of blue food or drink. So what did you get?
Duplicated with 5 bottles. Yeah, I didn't say to get all 5.
No, neither did I.
That's
That
what
was
I said.
my
It
idea.
changed.
And I didn't like the idea.
It's quite lazy, isn't it?
Yes.
I actually, on this one, you must admit, I did say I'm not happy about
Yeah,
this.
I said
and
that.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. It's the most romantic day of somebody's life, and you expect me to turn up with 5 bottles of blue bloody Alco piss.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want us to buy 5 bottles of
Neither
blue.
did I.
That's a complete and utter
No,
lie.
I
She's calling you a liar.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
You are, you're lying.
Barry,
Remember, I'd like your opinion on that.
Barry, chill.
shut it!
On that decision, I could have been outvoted, and they didn't make the decision.
In a word.
Yeah.
Joe, good team captain?
I don't think she was a good project manager, no.
Joe, do you got anything to say to that?
I can't believe it's incredible.
Sorry, Joe.
No, I just think I'm just quite shocked with what you're saying.
No, I think overall...
I just don't think you like to listen to anybody else, which you haven't done all day.
Joe, who do you think should go first?
Shaz, I think. Because I feel a bit stabbed in the back.
Who should go first?
Joe.
Barry.
I think it's Shaz that's got to go.
From what I hear, you, Joe, spent a lot of time today telling her to shut up.
That is correct.
No, I didn't. I've never said shut up once today. I'd never speak to someone like that.
Not once.
There's a way to talk to people, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
Well, you know what, Shaz? All I've heard from you, I thought of this and I thought of that, and my idea wasn't listened to. And I had this idea and I wanted to do this and I disagree.
But when...
And it's just... I don't want somebody who's just going to, fade into the background and do nothing. Equally, this hall is pathetic. Do any of you seriously expect me to turn up to a wedding with these manky old flowers, a pathetic plate that a mouse couldn't eat off, that's got a great split down the middle, a phone, a borrowed phone which they're going to have to give back, and 5 bottles of something that looks undrinkable? And you know what, Shaz? I think as an ideas person, maybe you should have piped up more, but ultimately, Joe...
given the opportunity.
Shut up! Ultimately, Joe, you were the team captain, you let this go ahead, and I'm very sorry, but you're As for you two, I want you to go out and wait while we make our decision. Now, at this point, it turned out I'd actually been too good at playing the telly bastard. The contestants were genuinely upset, and off camera, they complained about their treatment while the production team tried to placate them.
I don't think he's crook. He understands that it's all pantomime.
No, he just said he thinks we've gone too far.
What surprised me about this was how personally bad it genuinely made me feel, and these were just some people we had in for one day. It seems the other quality you need to be a successful bastard telly boss is an authentic heart of steel. Anyway, we still had the final elimination scene to shoot. This time round I softened my tone just a little bit, but I still had to pick a winner. Judith, could you send them in, please?
I'll send them through. King Charlie says you can go in.
Well, I think some congratulations are in order. You've both made it through to the final. Barry, why should you be here?
Because I consistently delivered.
I can't argue with that. I can feel you itching to say something, Shaz.
Barry did not buy the products all by himself. He did have...
I was hoping you were going to say something simple. This sounds like the start of another essay.
From the amount of input that the three of us had in today's project, Shaz was the least effective.
Excuse me? Who suggested the first ideas, Barry? Who instigated the whole...
Whoa. You talk far too much, Shaz. You strike me as very dependable, very diplomatic, but I have one problem, and that is I can't get away from those 5 blue bottles. Shaz had lots of ideas. Why weren't they listened to? I think you let yourself down there, and I'm surprised at you. Shaz, you're just like a burst water main.
I think I'm bursting with creativity.
I know what you think. You keep telling me what you think. One thing I cannot forgive, I'm afraid, and it's those blue bottles. It was 5 items, not 5 times 1 item, which is what you gave me. So I'm afraid, Barry, you seem like a really nice bloke, but I've got to pick one of you. Barry, you're f***ed. Okay, so you've won a prize. I imagine you're interested to know what it is.
Have I really won?
You have really won.
There's a catch.
There isn't. There's maybe a slight catch. You see, we want to give you a good prize. Unfortunately, we got some email from the BBC. At the moment, they absolutely cannot offer cash prizes because there's a BBC-wide suspension of all such competitions, I think, in the current climate. Instead, we've got to offer a quirky, cheap prize. It's got to be worth no more than £50. I'm going to give you 15 seconds to decide what you want that £50 to be spent on, starting now.
Charity. Chocolate.
Charity or chocolate, which one?
Oh, charity.
Which charity?
Breast cancer.
It's yours.
Cool.
That's it, isn't it? Well done.
Oh, thank you.
So there you go. Shaz, the underdog, won because we thought that would make the best story. Although, truth be told, we felt so bad, we also shot an alternate ending in which Barry won because we're wussies. Ultimately, Shaz, you talk too much, you're f***ed. So, you've won. Anyway, in summary, what have we learned? Well, that elimination shows are more about character and story than ability and talent, that you can engineer almost any situation to create drama, and that the hardest thing about being a bastard TV judge is putting all human decency aside. Oh, and that I look really hot in a crown, as I'm sure you ladies will agree. I think her and Joe are gonna...
I knew it. That's a complete utter... No, and I said you were lying. You're lying. No, I'm not.
It's amazing how characters can be perceived.
Because it's edited, you might not get completely the whole story.
It makes a person more competitive than they would be generally. It can bring out the worst side of your character.
It really does give you an insight into what the real contestants go through on a week-on-week basis. They're not there because they know what they're doing. They're not there because they're intelligent. They're there for an element to the show.
Bye.